Hello traders, Steve Mauro here. If you're happy with the results you're getting from your Forex trading, and you're consistently succeeding, then you probably already know how to trade in line with the dealer cycle, and this video is not for you. If you have accumulated losses trying to follow system after system, wondering why one day your signals work and the next day they don't, you're probably going to want to pay very close attention to what I'm about to share with you. You know, most Forex traders don't ever realize the single most important factor governing the Forex market. It's called the market maker cycle, or the dealer trend, and it's the key predicting indicator to how the market will move. I want to warn you ahead of time. This isn't going to be one of those videos that are filled with hype, branding me as some sort of guru. I personally find all that cheesy marketing stuff kind of sickening and an insult to my intelligence. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend to insult yours. When something really works, there is no need for the hype. The truth will speak for itself. You know, I'm not a guru, and I'm certainly no Einstein. In fact, when I first started out, I was just a regular career firefighter living paycheck to paycheck. And I could never have imagined that I would have college students, hedge fund managers trading my market maker system. But then again, I would never have expected Arnold Schwarzenegger to become the governor of California either. You know, I was the least likely person to leave my job and make it as a full-time Forex trader. I'd racked up credit card debt on one trading course after another, made up by the same scammers who have made all of us skeptical about the Forex markets. I've been burned to the point where I was almost ready to give up. I was discouraged and tired of chasing bogus signals with my hard-earned money. I was ready to throw in the towel until one day I got a call from a friend of mine. He told me, "Steve, I got someone you have to meet." There's no way he could have known just how life-changing that phone call would be for me. My friend is a pilot, and he was flying a market maker from a top bank. As soon as I met him, I knew right away there was something different about this guy. He started talking about a dealer's trend, which is a little-known pattern that appears in the Forex market every single day in every major pair, and how most people don't ever realize that the dealers move the currency prices up and down in a pattern that is only obvious to the trained eye. He told me if I wanted to succeed as a trader, I needed to understand which market conditions that dealers like him use to decide exactly how and when to move the price that retail traders like us see on our trading feeds. At first I found it hard to believe, but he just laughed at how naive I was. But what he said next made it clear for me, and for the first time I understood the missing piece of the Forex puzzle I always felt in my heart must be out there. He asked me to imagine putting myself in his shoes and think like a market maker for once instead of a typical retail trader. To imagine you're holding contracts in the millions of dollars. You know where all the customers have placed their stops, and it's your job to make sure the bank remains profitable. Think about what it would be like if you legally had the ability to raise and drop the prices to hit your customers' stops, margin them out. What would you do? When he put it like that, the answer was pretty obvious. Unless you want to lose your company's money and get yourself fired faster than you can blink, you're going to run the stops on the retail traders. The market doesn't have a mind of its own. You're trading against the market makers in a bank. There's only one winner in every trade, and it's either you or it's them. I finally got what he is saying. When you understand how your opponent works, then you can truly beat him. I couldn't wait to get in front of my computer that night so I could look for the patterns that he was telling me about. I almost couldn't believe it. For the first time in years, there they were, all along staring me in the face, just as he said, but no one had ever taught me or showed me how to look for them. You can imagine, by now I was totally hooked. I spoke to my friend, and he told me that his passenger had mentioned he was nearing the end of his career as a dealer, and he was taking on 5 mentoring students at the price of $25,000 each. You see, he was going to teach them how to trade like a market maker. I was not going to let this opportunity pass me by. I maxed out every line of credit I could, and I had to convince my parents to lend me the last few $1,000s. They obviously thought I was crazy, but it was worth every single penny. It ended up changing my life forever. He taught me how to identify the market maker's trend using 6 indicators and the specific conditions to look out for that are ripe for trading. He showed me how to forecast and anticipate the highs and lows of the day. Any experienced trader with an ounce of intelligence understands just how powerful that can be. More than that, it gave me the understanding of exactly which times of day to avoid and which times I should be sitting in front of my terminal. And the question everybody always asks, where do you place those stops? You know, 9 years after that fateful meeting, my life took an unexpected turn. I was walking around a property that I was considering buying, and I started talking to the owner about how I make my living as a full-time trader. The owner was fascinated and asked me if I'd be willing to teach to a small group, and I agreed. You see, my mentor had passed away the previous year, releasing me from my NDA, so this seemed like a perfect opportunity for me to share my knowledge with other people. One thing led to another, and after the next 2.5 years, over 100,000 people have downloaded my Forex report, and I've trained more than 1,100 people to use my method. As a fireman, it's always been my passion to help others, but it was never my intention to teach this method to anyone else. Sometimes life's funny like that, and I ended up creating a webinar training to help people get started using my system, the same that the mentor had taught me. The webinar is packed with case studies and examples of my trades to help you really understand the method, especially specific market conditions that look right for trading. So with that in mind, if I've piqued your interest and you want to learn more, make sure you register for the upcoming webinar. Oftentimes, people misspell their email, so I recommend you put your best email address on the page and I will send you a unique link to my webinar. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the other side.